Hey guys, Robert Roy with WealthBuildersHQ.com, and today I'm going to answer the top 10 questions that beginning traders have. Let's go to it. Today we're going to answer the top 10 questions that I've received from my students, and we printed them out, and they came from places like YouTube, our other social media platforms, our website, phone calls, whatever it is. We took the top questions and we're going to answer each and every one of those for you today right here. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The first one says, I want to replace my income by trading. How long can that take? Well, the question is an interesting one. How long can it take? It can take you a week, it could take you 10 years. How long does it take? How long does it take to lose 10 pounds? How long does it take to do anything in life? The effort that you put in and making sure the effort is the right effort. The key is this: no one's going to learn it overnight. It doesn't happen that way. Whoever tells you you will lies. Run, Forrest, run. Get as far away as you can if that's what you're hearing from an educator. You're not going to learn it overnight. But is it feasible to say that you can have the basics down in a couple of weeks to a couple of months? Yes. Is it feasible that you'll be paper trading within that few weeks to few months as well? Absolutely. Is it feasible that after that couple of months you could start with very small amounts, testing the waters with funded trades? The answer is absolutely you can. So don't focus on the destination, focus on the journey. What does it take for me to be successful and to get there? So number 2, do you prefer day trading or swing trading? And a couple of little points in there that people asked us to talk about the benefits of each, right? So let's go ahead and talk about that. Do I prefer day trading or swing trading? And the answer is yes. I prefer day trading or swing trading. It's not a matter of having a choice of which one, it's which one to trade right now. Which one to trade right now for the stock you may be looking at. I'll give you a great example. We are in the midst, right in the middle to the third quarter of earnings season right now. And I mean of this earnings season. We're halfway to 3/4 of the way through this earnings season. If I'm looking to trade a stock and it has earnings coming up next week, I'm a day trader. Trying to swing trade it for the next 3 or 4 weeks is a mistake because there's news, known news coming out that could dramatically affect the results of that trade. So that could make me a day trader, newsy type things. Now, in all honesty, to back it up, I am preferably a swing trader. I like to get into the trade. I like to allow it to work, allow it to run, get the bigger profits on the trade by the runners than trying to get the quick ins and outs for the same day. Right? So there isn't a right or wrong, there isn't a good or bad. The benefits of a day trader, let's talk about the biggest disadvantage for a day trader and the biggest advantage for a day trader. The biggest advantage for a day trader is at the end of the day, you're in cash because very quickly you're in and out of that trade. You've got a very short period of time until you're out. The disadvantage is you've got a very short period of time until you're out. Well, Rob, how is that possible? If the trade goes your way, thumbs up, baby. If it goes against you, now you've got a problem. You've got to be really good at pulling the trigger, and that really is the disadvantage to the day trader. You've got to be good at pulling the trigger to get out of the trade if you are wrong. So your system, just like the systems that we teach here at Wealth Builders HQ, your system has to be tight. It has to have a series of rules in it that you know what to do in every single scenario. So what's the disadvantage to swing trading? Well, I'm waiting. If news comes out and I'm in the middle of the trade, my disadvantage is it could go against me because I've been sitting in this trade now for a couple of days, couple of weeks, potentially. Wow. I'm feeling overwhelmed with the amount of data each company has. Shares, price, PE ratios, alpha, beta, delta, theta, vega, rho, and all the other good stuff, right? What's the most important information to consider about a company to trade? I'll make it very simple. Forget about PE ratios, forget about alpha, beta, forget all of that stuff. Focus on the chart. So let me ask you a question. Finish this sentence. A picture's worth, and I know what most of you answered, thousands of words, right? And the answer is that's wrong. Picture's worth thousands of dollars. When you look at that chart, when you can look back at a chart and read it and say, I see what it's doing. It's here, and I think it's going down to here. That's a $5 drop. I could take advantage of that. I can make money. See, that to me is the key, is being able to see that chart and know where it goes. Don't focus on reading all the news and understand the type of trader you are. If you are Warren Buffett, you're an investor, long-term, extremely long-term. You want to know everything about that company. If I'm going to trade Netflix today because they had their earnings come out, and I know the earnings came out and I'm in and out today, what else do I care? I'm in and out today. How much do I care that 3 years from now, the CEO is talking about having this new action plan go into place? Good for him or her. It doesn't affect me as a day trader. Even as a swing trader over the next 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, really doesn't have any bearing on me whatsoever. The most important piece of the puzzle to trade, learn to read that chart. All right, next. You talked a lot about options on your channel. What are the benefits of trading options over stock? One word, leverage. Think about it. If I want to buy a stock, and if we pull a stock up here, right? I'll do the best I can not to have my back to you for too long. But let's go ahead and look at Facebook, right? Here's a chart on Facebook. It's trading about $197 right now, ish. If I want to buy that stock, 100 shares, $19,700, costly. If I want to buy an option on Facebook, I can spend $6, $8, $10, $12 on the option. It all depends what I'm trying to do. So today is a Monday. The day we're doing this recording is a Monday. I have an option chain here on Facebook. Right? If I'm looking to day trade Facebook, just make it full screen. If I'm looking to day trade Facebook, and we're not going to go into all the details, guys, but right now I could buy an option on Facebook for $5.03. $5.03 I could buy the option on Facebook for. Why would I want to spend $197? The biggest disadvantage of trading stocks over options is the stocks are expensive. The options give me leverage. Remember that one word, write it down if you haven't done so already, leverage. All right, is it possible that I might lose all of my money? Yes, it is. It absolutely is. All right, the end. Actually, guys, is it possible? Sure. But what's the likelihood that Facebook goes to zero? Probably not that good. So the likelihood you'll lose all your money is no. Now, is there other risks with options? Yes. An option has an expiration date. You spent that $5, and if you're not out of that option by the expiration date, there are consequences to doing so. And we've got another video that we went over the basics of options. I'll put a link down in the description below that you can go check that out. So you can see the money from the options go away, but folks, I spent $19,700 on the stock, or I spent $500 on the option. Could you lose your entire $500? You must understand that it is at risk. The biggest key, though, is what does your strategy tell you? If you got in and it was $5, where's your exit point? Excuse me, where are you getting out? If it goes against you, where do you say, uncle, and the trade is over, right? So can you lose all your money? Yes. The likelihood, if you're following a system, a proven, tried, tested system, will it happen? Still going to happen, but very little comparative to where people are just throwing stuff on the wall and hoping that something sticks. All right, next, what kind of formal education do I need to become a successful trader? We're going to take that question. Oh boy, that sucker went all the way across the room. That hit 3 tables away. Formal education, you need nothing. Guys, I went to a high school that we started off with 2,000 freshmen in my high school. 6,000 students in the high school. 6,000 students. When I graduated, there were 800 and change. I graduated right in the middle. About 400 is where I graduated. So I was a C student. I didn't know anything about math, and when it came to Italian, I cheated off of a guy from Italy that sat next to me, got caught a couple of times, got in trouble for it. He got in more trouble for letting me cheat off of him. Right? I was not a brainiac. I don't need to be. I actually found something pretty interesting later on in life. I found that the A students go on to become teachers, and the B students go to work for the C students. Well, that's me. I'm the C student. You don't need to have a formal education to be able to understand how to trade the market. Actually, the really nice thing about the market is you can get extremely pigeonholed in one strategy and never do anything else, and still learn how to make money that way. Is it possible to live entirely off of trading income? If so, how much do I need to get there? Guys, where do you live? Is it a really nice cardboard box under a bridge somewhere? Or are you living in Manhattan paying 15 grand a month? how much do I need will differ for each person. I have a student right now who's 17 years old and who has said, Rob, I'll never have to work a day in my life. And that's awesome. He claims he's making his money trading. Well, that's great, but he also lives home with mom and dad still. When that changes, will he need a little bit more? Absolutely. But he's on the right path to being able to do so. What I would say is this. You're going to start trading with wherever you are now, with whatever you have, that's what you'll start. If you have $5,000, you start with $5,000. And then you're going to start trading while you're still working your job. This is not the Amway where you quit your job, buy a Winnebago, and you go sell white powder in plastic bags. It's SA8, by the way, before someone starts investigating it, all right? What you're going to do is you're going to learn how to trade while you are working. You'll start to trade, you'll continue to trade, and then you have a nut that you have to hit every single month to live. How much do you need? Now, let's not get crazy. I didn't say how much do you want. How much do you need? Well, Rob, I make $400,000 a year. I'm an anesthesia nurse. That's awesome. Do you need $400,000 a year? I didn't say want. Do you need? Well, no, I really need about 100. Okay, so now we have a goal. You need $100,000 to retire. You need $50,000 to be able to quit your job, whatever it is. From there, what strategy are you trading? If you're trading a strategy like a covered call, you're looking at 2 to 3%, 4%, maybe 5% a month. If you're trading futures contracts, you could be looking at 10 to 20% a day. If you're trading swing trades with options, you're looking at 60, 70, 80% over the course of the month is the potential. Now, I'm not saying every trade does that for all of them. You will have some trades that go against you, there's no question. You will have those trades that you lose money. Really? They don't all win? They don't all win. Right? Can you do this? Yes. Do you need a lot of money? No. What you're going to have to find out is how much do you need? So write these down. How much do you need to actually live, to cover your monthly expenses? Now remember, you quit your job. You don't have maybe dry cleaning anymore. You're not getting on a train, transportation, paying tolls, whatever it is. You're also getting hours back of not having to get ready in the morning the same way, not having to travel, and not having to listen to your boss. That was the best part of it for me. Telling your boss, take this job and shovel it because I don't want it anymore. Give it to someone else who needs it. I quit. But don't quit until you see that your trading while working full time is replacing the nut of what you need. Okay, next. How much do I need to start trading? Nothing, right? So a couple other comments of what people wrote in there. So how much do I need to start trading? You really don't need any cash to start. You can start with a non-funded account. Most brokers, not all, and this is key, before you open the brokerage account, ask them, do you have paper trading that I can use? Paper trading is a function where you're trading the market. Right here, I could go ahead and place this trade in paper in a non-funded account, and it acts like a real trade. I would be able to pick the option, pick the stock, pick the futures, bonds, it doesn't matter. But you're able to do it in a non-funded environment, so you're not sitting there with real money in the market and you really don't know what you're doing. This is the only business that you don't have to have money to actually start that business. You don't. Go ahead and start a paper trading account. You need no cash. But I want you to go ahead and start a paper real estate investing company. Do you need some cash? Well, yeah. I bought that house. They wanted $650 for it, but I bought it for $400. How do you know they would sell it to you? Oh, yeah, they would. I'm a good negotiator. Now, you see, it's all guessing. Go ahead and start a paper grocery store where you're selling paper cans of beans and paper cans of string beans or coffee or whatever it is. You can't start any other business than stock market with a paper account like you can in trading. Now, theoretically, realistically, just going back to the question I just answered about how much money, do I need to trade? Is it possible for me to trade to make a living? What do I need to get started? Guys, you're going to need some cash when it gets down to coming down to do it. But you are where you are and you start there. If you have $500 to your name, you start with $500. It's not, oh, woe is me. I'll never be successful in life. I don't have enough money. And you know what? You may not have enough money to trade and retire, but you take that money and you keep reinvesting it again and again and again and again. You can do it. Next, isn't trading just gambling? So I've had people come to me and say, Rob, the stock market is no different than going to Las Vegas, except that in Las Vegas you get a showgirl and a free drink. And you know what? Maybe you think that way. But I have a friend of mine who is a professional poker player. And he said it takes him 20 minutes. When he sits at that table of other poker players, it takes him 20 minutes to identify the donator. And I asked him, I said, what's the donator? He said, that's the guy that's giving all of his money to the pot tonight. I said, what happens after 20 minutes if you can't identify him? He said, then I'm it and I'm leaving. Right? As a professional, he knows how to play poker. Now, for the average person, it's a gamble. It's the one-armed bandit. Hopefully this one is going to ring for me. Right? You sit at the machine for 14 hours and play. That's not what this is. Right? Isn't trading just gambling? No, it is not just gambling. Trading is a way of life once you know how to do it. So don't fear it. You can be successful at it, but there are rules that you have to follow. All right, last question, and it's a big one. Hey, Rob, I saw your other video, and you said that 90% of traders fail. Is that true? And if it is, does that mean that the other 10% barely make money? It's not that the other 10% barely make money. See, really, if you go back to it, it comes down to this. It comes down to the 80-20 rule. And then there are other factors beyond that where you do 80-20 of the 80-20. Right? So if you have 20% of the people will be successful at something, you take another 80% of that. So 8 times 2 is whatever the number is, right? 80% of 20, right? 10%, whatever. I'm not doing the math right now. You do the math. There are other factors in there, right? But will most people fail in the market? The answer is yes. And that is because they are uneducated and not willing to learn a system. It's a gamble. Let me put some money on here because I know a guy whose friend is the UPS driver for the guy that cuts the dog's hair of the sister-in-law of the best friend of the CEO of that company, and they said I should buy the stock. I'm going to buy some, right? For all the wrong reasons, right? Will people fail at the market? Yes. Can you learn how to do this without failing at the market? Yes. But it takes work, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, it takes a system. Everything that we teach at wealthbuildershq.com is all about building that system. None of it is meant to be where you are left on your own, throw your hands up in the air and say, the training is over, good luck for you. Guys, I sit every single week, twice a week on a video and say, if this stock gets here, we're getting in the trade. If this stock gets there, we're out of the trade. We've got a series of rules for our exits, a series of rules for our entrances. And I already have identified on video in advance with a tracking sheet every single thing that we're going to do. My students already know what it is. You're not left on your own and for your own demise or to your own demise. My goal is to be able to teach you the how and then be able to walk you through because situational things happen as well. Have we seen a market lately where we have gone in this sideways mode for this whole year, for 6 or 7 months already? And the answer is no, we haven't. And we looked at some of this today in a free class I did at noon called Power Hour. And I'll put a link down below for that, guys, that you can come as well. It's a free workshop we do every week. In Power Hour, we talked about the long-standing sideways move we've been making on the markets and on various stocks. And we're looking for this earnings season to hopefully push us out of some of that for these stocks as well. That only scratches the surface of what most brand new traders want to know. If I didn't answer one of your questions, leave a comment or email us at support@wealthbuildershq.com and we'll help you crush it in the market in no time. Until next time, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to being a great trader. Keep crushing it, and we'll see you in the next video. Folks, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and click the subscribe button so you can follow along with all of our great content and ring the bell so you never miss anything new that comes out. And folks, with that down below, we've got a couple of other videos for you to choose from that you can watch from our materials.